All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, welcome to the second session of the day, and I would like to welcome the next speaker we have today with us. We welcome Mr. Praveen Dev. Hello, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Swati. Thank you for the introduction. Hello again. And thank you very much for introducing me. Thank you.
I would like to share some information about Mr. Praveen Dev. Sir, please allow me.
Please go ahead. Thank you.
So, Mr. Praveen Dev is one of the directors of Arun's group of companies, have been working in the bakery and confectionery industry for the past 9 years, have a widespread knowledge of bakery machine manufacturing and spiral cooling and freezing applications. He have a working knowledge of automation of bakery plants and thereby catering to many of the problems of today's baking scenario. Sir, it's an honor for all of us to have you on panel today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Swati, again. And thank you for the organizers for organizing such a wonderful event. Uh, Amidst all this COVID and all the lockdown situations, we are still adapting to the new normal. And of course, this is a wonderful opportunity for us to present a lot of new technologies, a lot of new things to get us going into the business. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Mr. Praveen Dev, I would like to request you to please move further with your topic: automation of small, medium, and large scale bakeries.
Sure. Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Swati. So, today my topic being automation in small, medium, and large scale bakeries. So, when you talk about automation, when you talk about automation or any type of automation, people think it's a very huge investment, or it's a very huge topic where more technology is required, more knowledge of operating the equipment is required, and more complex things are required. So that those things are not really true when it comes to automating any kind of bakery. Yeah, automation has been a part of many of the bigger industries, maybe iron and steel, or oil and gas, or automobile. Many of the industries have been early adapters of automation, and history says we have the production lines, industrial level revolution. All those things, are part and parcel of automation. When I say automation, I mean automating the manufacturing process or the production process as such. So with efficient, not less human interaction, but with efficient human interaction. So automation has been very new, or fairly new in the past 20 to 30 years in the food industry. But we have been adapting really well. In today's scenario, India is on the forefront in adapting these new automation technologies, in automating their production lines, in automating the bakery lines. So what I'm going to do is share a few things, few key points, understanding of what automation in bakery is all about. So this is the if you can see my slide, this is my topics for today, or the major insights for today. So so let me start with my company, about my company. So we are Arun's group of companies. We've been in the industry for the past 25 years, and we are specialized in manufacturing and installing uh, bakery production lines for cakes, cookies, buns, breads, rusk, uh, croissant, and many other pastries. We've been installing lines in the small, medium, and the industrial large scale bakery segments as well. And we've been installing lines in India and many of the other countries like Bangladesh, African countries, Australia, Europe, and we have technological partners from Italy. And I've mentioned my technological partners on the side. So Arun Laser, if I can turn your direction again. Arun Laser is one other company which we have in our group. So we have a joint venture with Laser SRL of Italy, and we manufacture tunnel ovens, industrial mixers, and other large scale equipments for bakeries, industrial bakeries. So another company in our group is Arun Agriflex. We have a joint venture with Agriflex SRL Italy, again an Italian company. So with this joint venture, we manufacture raw material handling systems and many of the micro dosing and yeast fermentation systems for, again, medium and large scale bakeries. So one other technological partner that we have is with Interlocks, where we manufacture the spiral cooling systems for refrigeration, cooling, as well as the freezing applications. So we cater to the frozen market as well as the bakery market, normal bakery uh, production. So so that is about the company. So uh, moving on to quickly, to the topic of today, automation in small, medium, and large scale bakeries. So what is really automation about? What is it could be a huge term in for some who's listening about it or coming across it for the first time. So people always say, I've seen machines do this, seen machines do that. Especially first time bakers, or people who have less awareness about the bakery equipment. They always say, I have seen machines do wonders, or I have seen do machines do a dough dividing in a very efficient way, or a deposition in a very efficient way. I've seen robots doing the creaming applications. So all these things, if you understand properly, or if you go in depth about these concepts, it's all automation. It's all programs or computer programs, codes written to automate several equipments, or one equipment or several equipments, to do a particular job. So in one line, if I have to say, bakery automation is just cost cutting. You're cutting the cost on a high stress process. For example, if you say raw material, portioning is your headache in your bakery, or whenever I take raw materials, I miss some raw materials, or I leave out some raw materials, or I add some more sugar in the recipe than the standard recipe. My labor doesn't care about what he adds into the recipe. He just adds whatever he wishes to. So if that is your pain point, then yes, you have to think about, that is a high stress process, and high involve it requires a lot of your attention. So we should look at automating it. How can you overcome it? There is automation involved. And if you say there is injuries happening in the production flow. For example, my people, they used to lift a particular bowl with the batter or the dough, and once or twice it falls down. People face injuries, or the production floor gets damaged. All those things, if that is your pain point, then you should look at automating your dough handling systems, or the batter handling systems for your production line. So if you say portioning or dough dividing has been my problem, or my understanding of, when I say dividing, my chef or the master who does the dividing, he leaves 3 or 20-30 grams here and there, and on a accumulated manner, it costs me a huge loss. So yes, now you have a point to focus on, and you have a job, high stress job to automate. So this is basically, the entire concept of automation is basically this. If you say cooling, when you say after my product is baked, my cooling time is inefficient, or it varies from time to time. I don't have a proper system to monitor it. Sometimes it is, if my standard cooling time is, let's say, 45 minutes for cakes, bar cakes, and sometimes my labor would take it and slice it even before 45 minutes, or sometimes they leave it and go for lunch. It is there for 2 3 hours as such, and it becomes dry. So these are the pain points that we look to automate when it comes to automation in bakeries. Now, so this is again the same slide mentioning all the whatever I have said. So with automation, you are streamlining these jobs of concern, like the examples that I gave, and you are taking it in a much more efficient and manageable way, cutting the operational costs. Uh, of course, when you say operational costs, you lose a lot. Some people say automation involves a lot of investment, or a lot of price points are there. So yes, of course, but on the long run, if you understand operational costs and capital expenditure, operational costs will be more when you don't use automation in bakeries. So it creates, automation creates a better hygiene factor into the bakery. So these are some of the points which automation in bakeries, when you say, when you are new to automation, or when you want to automate your bakery, these are the points which we focus on as a manufacturer of machines, as a manufacturer of equipment. These are the points which we focus on, and we give you a solution. And of course, global technology is also on the same footpath, where we focus on these key points, and we understand your needs and we cater to you. Now, why do you need automation in your bakery? Because see, many people ask, I have a mixer, I have a divider, I have a divider, I have many ovens, I have a proofer, I have depositors, all are standalone machines. And I have, running it just fine. I've been running it just fine with use of manual operators, manual labor, and human interaction. I've been running it just fine. Why should I need automation? Now imagine, if I say you can run a production plant for cakes with 10 people, you can produce 500 cakes or 1 kg cakes per day. The same, when you automate it, you can produce 5,000 cakes per day. So that is the power of automation. So when you streamline your process, you see, whenever there is human interaction involved, or human intervention with the product and the process, there is always delays that could form in the chain. So for example, when you open the bakery at morning 8 or 9 a.m. or whatever it is, or even 6 a.m., whatever it is, the energy levels of a human being is much more. And as the day goes on, as the day progresses, and as they keep working on, it reduces drastically. And this, reflects in your production process as such. You don't get the proper throughput, you don't get the proper quality, you don't get the proper uh, ROI. Indirectly, your ROI is affected. So to optimize this process, you need a bit of automation in your business. So when I say automation in your business, it involves right from reducing your operator's job. Maybe your chef is dividing your breads all day long. He is manually dividing it, he's manually weighing it, he's manually cutting it. Everything is manual. And if there is an error, or if there is a effort being put, I I can give you a machine which does this with an automated way, and in fact, it can divide, it can round, and it can even check the weight, and it can give you a proper weight output consistently for the entire 24 hours. If you say 24 hours into 7 days a week, it doesn't change. It keeps on working. See, the problem with human intervention is inconsistency, and the advantage of automation is consistency. So when you consistently do something over a period of time, consistently attack a particular pain point over a period of time, it reduces your costs incurred. So that is the gist of it. And uh, raw material utilization, for example, if your raw material, you say, when I take flour, when I take sugar, there is spillage. When my labor takes sugar, there is spillage here and there, maybe a little amount of spillage. But when you see accumulated over the same spillage or accumulated over a period of time, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, your your costs that you've incurred on that particular spillage is much higher, and you can maybe do a production day's production in that particular spillage itself. So that is the kind of when you do automation, these kind of pain points can be avoided. With these kind of costs incurred on wastage can be avoided. So another main important aspect in automation is your recipe. If you want to maintain a secrecy of recipe, it could be maintained. But you see, it's all programming, it's all automation, it's all PLC based. No one can tamper it without a proper knowledge. So if you say manually take recipes by a chef, or because in a bakery, when you're a bakery owner, and if you are only looking at the administrative part of it, and you're not going to look at the production part of it, you need to keep track of what recipe is added, and you need to maintain the secrecy of it. Because in the previous lecture also, Mr. Rajkumar sir was talking about originality of the recipes or originality of the products. So originality, if you want to maintain, there is a high level of secrecy to be maintained in your recipes, and even to the extent of your labor, keeping it away from your labor also. So if you want to do that, you can only do that by means of automation systems or PLC systems or SCADA systems or whatever it may be. But when you bring it under an automation, all the labor or the operator has to do is touch a button, and it all the recipes, all the set values, whatever it is, you can automate it and bring it to your table or a bowl or a mixer or whatever you place to a station. You can automate and bring the exact value time and again with consistency, without the person or the operator knowing it, what is being added and how much is being added. So that is the kind of power the automation has. It not only streamlines your process, it protects your business, trade secrets or business processes as such. So another important thing is lesser downtime. So when you say downtime, especially when we face these lockdowns, or when there is labor shortage, or when there is lot of we have been facing this problem all through the past 6 to 8 months now. So when there is shortage of labor, we cannot run a small or medium sized bakery or even an industrial sized bakery. But when you have an automation with a limited amount of labor, we can still keep producing products, and we can still keep reaching out to the market with our bakery products. So that is the kind of power which automation possesses. So I think this gives you a fair bit of understanding of why you need uh, automation in your bakery. So another thing which I wish to highlight here is the pain points in uh, growing bakery segments, expanding bakery segments. When you start a bakery, you always have the intention of growing it up into a bigger brand. You want to go into retail, you want to go into industrial lines, because no one in this world wants to start a business and do it small. Everyone wants to do it big, and everyone wants to uh, even if you're very passionate about your trade or very passionate about your bakery, you want to expand it. If you start one outlet, you want to start 10 outlets in the next 5 years, or you want to do 50 outlets in the next 5 years. If you have 10 outlets, then you are looking at expanding, or if you have 50 outlets already in your city, you are looking at expanding it into the retail area, where you want to package it and you want to send it to cities across the state, cities across the country. So that is the kind of growth, people look in bakeries these days. And when you say this kind of expansion, what kind of pain points, or what kind of disadvantages that it brings, or shortfalls that it brings? You see, when you're basing your system, or basing your process on labor, there is always a problem with labor intensive process. People stop working or work less over a period of time. So this doesn't happen in case of automation, or in case of machines. And over a period of time, like I said before, there is incorrect portioning sizes. Or when you as I said, portioning, raw material portioning, or raw material wastages here and there, maybe in a batch you lose 20 grams, that is okay for you. But let's say over a period of 100 batches, if you say 20 grams, it becomes 2 kilos. So it is not a simple issue, it is not a small issue when you look at the yearly wastage that we produce. And with the amount of starvation, amount of problems with today's agriculture faces, demand of raw materials are increasing day by day, and the produce are reducing day by day, or it is coming to a standstill at times. So when you say wastage of 20 grams, imagine it on a bigger scale. So that gives you an advantage of in the market. When you cut down these wastages, you cut down the costs. So another important factor is hygiene with labor. When you say hygiene, many of the bakeries today, when you look at the news, or even if you go across bakeries, smaller, especially in the smaller and medium segments, they don't follow proper bakery or the hygiene standards. So they don't wash their hands at times. Not many, but some cases, they don't wash their hands. They especially when you are in a situation like COVID, you always have to keep yourself clean. You always have to keep yourself sanitized. You shouldn't keep your hands in your face or mouth, or nose or ears, and put it on the food also. So when you say have to be sanitized, human beings sweat, and at a point of time we are going to drop one or two sweat droplets in the dough itself. This happens, maybe grows to say things, maybe grows to hear things, but it happens in bakeries with manual labor, lot of manual labor, small and medium segments, it happens. But when you say automation, or when you say use of equipments, or use of maximum use of machines, you avoid these kind of hygiene issues. So you will have, end of the day, you're going to clean your machine if you want your machine to perform well over the long run. So hygiene is always has an upper hand when it comes to automation of bakeries. So this way you can improve your hygiene standards, and you can also improve your products thereby. When you increase your hygiene, automatically you have a quality standard that is maintained in the market, and that gives you a reputation in the market over the other competitors. So that is number one, and that is the highest priority in today's food safety standards. Hygiene is a very important factor, food safety is a very important factor. So you will have to seriously give a thought if food safety is a major concern in your bakery. Hygiene is a major concern, personal hygiene is a major concern in your bakery. So another thing is inconsistent products. So for example, if a chef is baking a bread, or if a chef is baking a cake, they bake it at times, maybe they add some raw materials, they miss out on the raw materials part. And on the baking part, for example, let's say uh, sometimes they bake it for 16 minutes, or sometimes they see the coloration and they take it out in 13 minutes, or sometimes they leave it over for it's 18 minutes. So all these inconsistencies, it all depends on the eye. So I heard a very renowned baker say, uh, in my early days, baking is not cooking. Cooking is always at eye level. It can be inaccurate, it can be to suit your taste, but baking is always accurate. It is always measured, it is always measurable, and it is always accurate. So that is the kind of thing which today's bakeries, manual bakeries, I'm talking about, non-automized bakeries lack. When you when you have more uh, when you have more manual intervention, there is always inconsistency in your products. Maybe one bread is less colored and one batch bread is more colored, one batch bread is softer, another batch bread is harder. So it is all, one cake is slightly sweeter, another cake is, another batch, the same product is slightly less sweeter. So it is all with automation you can overcome this inconsistencies of manual labor. So another pain point, which when you expand into the bakery segment, return of products, in the sense, when you place your market in the counter, when you place your market in the shelf of, it may be retail, it may be a counter based bakery, it may be a retail shelf, or it may be supermarkets, anywhere, because today retail bakery, industrial baking is a very big has a very big market share in today's market. So when you expand in your bakery, or expand your turnover, expand your business as such, product returns is something which you cannot avoid at many cases, but you can reduce it drastically by giving a better shelf life. But when you say shelf life, when there is human intervention involved, there is always it directly constitutes or directly affects your shelf life. When your labor is not clean, when your labor is not following personal hygiene, it directly affects your shelf life of the product. It directly comes to your shelf life. So when you say shelf life, your shelf stability is lost, mold formation may be there, or it may give stale smells, or rancid smells, whatever it could be. So all these things can be extended. In the sense, your shelf life can be extended when you automate your bakery and you reduce the intervention of manual labor. So that is the uh, those are the pain points which you see in bakery products, and so these can be easily overcome with your automation. So another when you say automation, where all can I? Now you have a question. Every baker, every small baker, every medium-sized bakery will have this question. I see your even the picture that I've put in the background. It is of a production line, one of the cake lines which we have layout of one of the cake lines which we have installed. So when you ask any small medium baker, they would immediately respond, it is all for the bigger players in the market. If I have to say bigger players, it could be players like Parle, like Britannia, like ITC, or Anmol, or Priyagold. Any of the bigger players are only looking for automation. It is not for the small, medium players. That is the general idea which bakers have when they start off. So I will now show you what are the levels of automation uh, uh, which can be easily adapted in small, medium, and larger scale bakeries. So the first level of these are the levels which I have come up with. So the first level of automation is the simple standalone machines. For example, if you do some pastries or puff pastry, you want your chef to keep rolling the dough with the roll pin. So whatever he does is the thickness, or whatever he rolls or how much ever pressure he applies on the dough is the thickness of the sheeting. So when you say manual labor involved, when you say the chef is rolling the dough manually, if he applies less pressure, thicker the dough; more pressure, thinner the dough. So you want as much as layers between your folded between your fat and your dough, or the the flour level. So that is the kind of inconsistency which happens in manual labor. When they sheet it, they may apply higher pressure, they may apply lower pressure. When you say a standalone machine like a sheeter or a dough sheeter, automatic sheeter, PLC sheeter, what it does is it gives you a consistent amount of thickness, consistent amount of pressure on your dough, handles it quite well, and it doesn't damage your product. So these kind of small machines can be involved in your small bakeries to help you overcome these inconsistencies in your product. So it could be a manual sheeter or a PLC based sheeter. It could, and another thing is your mixers or your dividers or any standalone process. If you have problems with cake deposition, if you have problems with cookie deposition, one cookie, if I usually bakers, home bakers and smaller bakers have this perception of uh, depositing cookies with a icing cone. They fill the dough and they ice, they deposit it. So with this kind of mechanism, with this kind of production process, you can only achieve a certain level of production capacity. Number one. Second thing is your grammage from one cookie to another will not be the same. It will be higher or it will be lower. But this can be overcome with a as small machine as a cookie depositor with a PLC automation. You're going to get the same amount of grammage from batch 1 to batch 10 or batch 13, whatever it may be. The whole day is going to have the same amount of dough dropped on in one, or weight grammage dropped in one cookie, and it is not going to change over a period of time. Unless or until you change it, it is not going to change. So that is the simple level of automation which today's bakeries can adapt immediately. So this is the kind of automation is, people oversee this often, but these are also automation. If these can also be automated, these machines can also be PLC based. So this is being overlooked these days. So the second level of machines would be the level 2. The number one, first level is what I'm talking about. First level is for the PLC based or the small bakeries. Second level is for the second and third level is mostly for the medium scale bakeries that I'm talking about. So the second level is and third level is a combination of these standalone machines. For example, if you mix a dough, for bread or rusk or bun or cake, or whatever it may be, you mix it with a mixer, a spiral kneader or a planetary mixer. You take it out, you take it for dividing to a station, to a table where a chef divides it, or a divider or a machine which divides the dough. And you take whatever 50 kg dough and you drop it in a divider or at a chef's station. He's going to divide it. So and he's going to roll it, mold it, and put it in a bread tin. So rectangular tin or a flat tin, whatever it may be. So this kind of automation, what level 2 and level 3 kinds of automation, takes the dough and divides it and drops it on a pan. So this can be automated in a way where when I say dough, it can be dough, bread, bun, rusk, cake, pastries, anything. Any bakery product can be automated in level 2 and level 3. But level 2 and level 3. What it does is it gives you that flexibility to achieve your production capacity, yet not compromise on your quality and also on the inconsistency. You don't have to be inconsistent all the time. It gives you the consistent output on all levels. So for a medium scale bakery, when the investment is high, or going for a complete automatic line is high, we can always look at a small automation like this, where you take the mixer, maybe a tilting mixer or a detachable mixer. You take the 150 to 200 kilos of dough. You can directly transfer it without the touch of human hands to the divider, and without the human touch it divides. Without human interaction, it rests it molds it, and it can give you put into it can lay it into a bread tin. It can automatically drop it into a bread tin. So all these things can be done with a medium bakery also. So when I say small, medium, and large bakeries, for automation purpose, I would say maybe the definitions are different, but for small, in terms of small, anywhere between 500 kilos to 2 tons per day production capacities. And when I say medium, anywhere between 2 tons to 8 tons per day. And when I say large scale, it is 8 tons and above. It may be 20 tons or 50 tons, whatever it may be. So this is per day of production. Okay. So when I say, coming back to our level of automation, so level 4 is again more combination of these machines, and it could be automation of your baking as well. So maybe you can employ a tunnel oven in the mix. So if not a rack oven, you can go into a tunnel oven, and you can automation could be a little less. Maybe you can automation can be on the first level of bread maker, wherein you drop the dough rolls or the molded dough into the tins, and you take it and you put it in your oven for baking. So the taking out from this molder and putting it in the oven could be a manual process, and from there on it can still continue as an automatic process with a automatic oven or a tunnel oven or a rack oven with a PLC with a set temperature and a set value at all times, set baking time at all times. So no one can tamper this, either of these cases. Now, level 5 is the complete lines, where you use conveyors. It is more like a non-stop 24-hour cycle, where from the raw material to the packing, it is all automized, and there is no human intervention, or everything is each and every process is controlled by a PLC or an automation system. So as I told, where all can automation can be adapted in bakeries, in almost every stage it can be adapted. So right from raw material handling, dough, the mixing process, the deposition or dividing process, baking, cooling, and as well as packaging. So let me quickly go through what kind of um, when I say stages, when I say raw material handling, it can include silos for storage of flour or sugar, and from the silos, it can directly, through automatic pneumatic transfer, it can come to a dosing hopper, and you can set the values, and you can drop the set amount of flour for each batch into a mixer. So when you show sugar grinding, when there is sugar storage involved, there needs to be sugar grinding also in a bakery. So online sugar grinding is also possible in raw material handling systems. By this way, you can always expect consistent amount of recipe, consistent amount of ingredients being given to each batch of the mix. So this is for the raw material. This is a very pictorial representation of the raw material handling systems. You can see these small, near the truck there is 3 cylinders, or tall cylinders that are there. Those are the silos. From there, it is distributed across. It could come to a mixing station. It could come to a normal vessel also. It could come. So it all depends on the budget and the level of automation that each customer is looking for. And you can also do micro dosing alone in a small or medium bakery. You can do, let's say you have, let's forget the major part of the recipe: flour, sugar, egg, or water, whatever it may be. Let's concentrate only on the micro ingredients: yeast, or the liquid flavors that you use, or the some enzymes that you use. You want to automate it. Only those are my secret. Rest all, it's one and the same, like the competition. If you say that, then you can look to automate your raw materials only for the micro ingredients, maybe the small enzymes that you use, the flavors that you use, the yeast, the amount of yeast that you use, the enhancers that you use. You can automate that and bring it in a set weight. Your labor need not understand these weights that are coming, or weights that needs to be set. He just has to press a button, recipe 1, your entire micro ingredients will be put in a bowl. Recipe 2, the second, same mechanism will follow. So that is the simple level of automation where medium scale bakeries can uh, benefit from these days. So when I say mixing equipment, there is PLC based mixers, there are PLC based spiral kneaders, turbo mixers. All these are some of the examples, pictures that some of the equipments that we manufacture, which are PLC based. So these are majorly run on automation plants across our installations. So when I say processing equipment, when in between, it could be anywhere, anything between dividers, depositors, proofers, molders, sheeters, or croissant sheeters, cutting machines, croissant dividing machines. All those things can be there. And when I say cooling or baking systems, it can be tunnel ovens, it can be rack ovens on a automation base, and it can also be for a cooling system, for a pain point which I was discussing, explaining some time back. Your cooling is inconsistent, or your product cooling is not consistent, your labor leaves it for some time, you can also always look at a spiral cooling system for such process. These are some of the pictures, or these are some tunnel ovens and a spiral cooling system. When I say spiral cooling system, it is not only for refrigeration purpose. With the cooling systems which we manufacture are also for frozen products, also the frozen technology also. So in the previous lecture, I heard Rajkumar sir say about frozen technology, which is rapidly growing in the country. So frozen systems, you cannot take a human being into a freezer for a long time to push a trolley or keep a product in the freezer and then take it out after some time. It reduces the efficiency of the freezer. Also, the human being is affected when there is minus temperatures are there inside the freezer. So people can't go in and come out frequently. For that, we can apply systems like linear freezer systems, or spiral freezing systems, wherein it is all taken in a spiral conveyor. It is either taken up or it is taken down. So it reduces the footprint of the freezer as such, and also gives you that throughput of production. So this is something, a pictorial layout representation of an automation plant that we manufacture. So what it could be, maybe if you can, we can connect on a one-on-one basis. I could explain more of this. But what exactly happens is, this is a cake plant basically. So what happens here is deposition, baking, cooling, cream injection, and packaging. Everything is happening in an automatic way. This each line is capable of producing one 500 kilos per hour, 500 tons per month also. On a monthly basis, if you see, it is 500 tons per month lines. So all these, when you say the amount of labor involved, it could be as low as 60 to 75 people per line, so including packaging, or including all the raw material handling, all those things. So with this, if a company can produce 500 tons, so you imagine the number of overheads reduction or a cost cutting that happens in the line. So this is just a representation to show you all what is automation all about. So coming back to our benefits of automation, number one is enhanced throughput. So if or 12, 20 people, it could increase drastically, maybe almost, case studies say almost 45 to 50% of enhanced throughput is possible for when you automize your bakery. So with automation, you get a higher throughput, you get a consistent throughput. Second thing is uh, quality control. When you expand your bakery, you need to have proper quality checks of at various levels. It may be at the raw material level, it may be at the intermediate levels like dividing level, or it may be in your final product also. So final product has a moisture level of X percentage, and if you say X plus 3, maybe one batch is X plus 3 percentage, one another batch is X plus 5 percentage, another batch is X minus 2 percentage. No, that is not the quality which your market will accept easily. Once you give a taste, once you give a particular taste to people, you will have to consistently give that taste, consistently work on things to give that taste repeatedly, day after day. With automation, you have that it enables you to give that consistent taste for your product every day, day in and day out, where every in some bakeries, there are these seasonal changes. For example, bread proofs in hotter easily in hotter climate, and in cold climates it is very difficult for bread to proof. So this inconsistency or seasonal inconsistencies that are caused for the product to proof or to production, it can be overcome easily with automation of these systems. So that gives you the consistent control of your product. So another major factor is important factor in today's bakeries or today's bakery everywhere. People are looking at a COVID situation. People are looking at food safety situation everywhere. So whatever we get, we eat, and it is, as a manufacturer, as a food product manufacturer, it is our responsibility to give a safe product for people to eat, because there is always there shortages there is always product shortages there in the market. So it is our responsibility to look after our fellow human beings also. So it is best that we employ such machine or employ such mechanized modes of production, so that we give better food safety or better products with safer, it is much safer to consume, for even for small children to old people, till old people, everyone gets a proper sanitized food, proper safe food with a greater control of hygiene. Automation gives you that power in your bakery. And another important thing is reduced overheads, labor costs. So when I say reduced overheads or reduced, I don't mean reduced labor, I mean reduced costs or overhead costs on these labors. For example, you sell a product for 10 rupees, and your overhead with an existing use of labor could be, let's say, 2.5, 3 rupees, or 4 rupees, whatever it may be. Your ingredients may be for 5 rupees. So when you increase the productivity, automatically your overheads is reduced per cost. So with the same price, you're able to manufacture more, and with the same labor, you're able to efficiently utilize them to produce more number of products and sell more in instantly. It increases your it gives you a better ROI, number one, better return on investment, and number two, it reduces your labor costs, and it frees you that headache to take out more from your bakery, take more profits from your bakery. Number Another important factor is shelf stability. As I told you before, it gives you that it gives you more shelf stability when you, especially when you go into retail space or counter space where you have to cater to multiple counters or multiple supermarkets or multiple cities. You will need more shelf stability on your product. This gives you better, control over the shelf stability. And of course, as I told you, frozen applications, you cannot enter or a freezer in and out, maybe in an hour of freezing. You cannot go just like that and come out every 3 minutes or 5 minutes like that. No human being can do that. And it is also not efficient for the freezer also, when you consider the opex. So in a freezing application, automation gives you better control, when especially when you're a frozen food manufacturer or you're looking to venture that market space. Automation is the key to go into frozen food space. So people talk about European technology, people talk about technology from outside overseas countries. It is all available today in India also. Of course, there is some are manufactured, some are imported, but again, there is the, every technology is available in India as well. So this is something which I wanted to share. So that brings brings us to the end of my presentation. So on automation in bakeries. So I would say, as a conclusion, I would say automation gives you that power of enabling your bakery to give you that enhanced production with consistency. Where, if you ask me, does it reduce skilled labor? No, it doesn't. It only makes labor or your manual workforce to work better, to work more efficiently. It doesn't mean reduction of jobs. It doesn't mean reduction of labor. It doesn't mean any of those myths that we see in today's industry. So it is only helping human beings produce better with an existing bakery setup or an existing floor space, and give us better control of the product. So that is the that brings the end of my presentation. So thank you very much. I would leave my contact screen. So that is my contact. You can contact us in any of these.
Mr. Praveen, can you hear me?
Yeah.
First of all,
Yes,
thank you
Swati.
so much for a very detailed presentation, very well
Thank
presented.
you. Thank you very much, Swati.
So we have few questions
Sure.
for you.
Please.
So I have this question from Mr. Vijay Ram, and he's saying how automation is economical in our country to adopt as like other well-developed countries.
Okay. Can you repeat it again? How automation is economical, right?
How economical?
Right.
Yes.
See, in a country like India, where we have lot of overhead costs involved. When we say we generally don't spend like European countries when it comes to the automation part. We spend very much lesser than European countries. So when you say economical, it brings down the overhead costs as such. It maybe implementation or capex could be a little higher than usual setup, but on the long run, if you see, you're definitely saving on power, fuel, electricity, and labor as such. So always when you say economical, I always, as a manufacturer, as a solution provider, we always talk about the longer run and not the day-to-day affairs of the bakery. It is always wiser to talk about the longer run, over a month, over a 6 months period, over a year period. It always helps to talk in terms of the ROI part, return on investment part. How faster is my ROI? That gives you the idea, better understanding of economy or economical factor in an automized bakery. Yeah.
All right, sir. So as we talk about automation, especially in small and medium scale bakeries, so investing in a piece of equipment can be, like a recruiting a star basketball player in a team that can, affect the overall coordination of the team. Though the expectation from it is to enhance the overall performance, but do you think it can lead to a domino effect?
Okay.
And
Okay.
it can take months or weeks to, correct that delay.
Okay, I don't know if in today's scenario is this a good example to quote, but of course, looking at the track record, if you look at, I'm a hardcore CSK fan, Chennai Super Kings fan, and only because of when you say CSK, most people across the country, irrespective of the state they belong, they say Dhoni or a fan of Dhoni. They say CSK. They support
Yeah.
CSK, even if their team doesn't enter finals. They support CSK.
Yeah.
Since you brought in, star basketball player recruitment into a team, it only elevates your pitch. Automation only elevates your game. It doesn't reduce your game on the long run. When you put a star player into a team, it can be any game. I'm not only sticking to cricket. It could be any game. It gives you that experience. It gives you more importantly that expertise needed to produce on a bigger stage. So automation gives you that expertise to elevate your game and not to there's no repercussions as such, but it only elevates your game. Yeah.
That's absolutely right. And I am also a CSK fan.
Good to know
So
that.
I totally understand how
Yeah.
you said it. So just last question, as again we are talking, considering the same issue with small and medium scale
Yeah.
bakeries. I think space is an issue because these, conventional bakeries are built in a different, space and design. So automation and having big equipments or any change like that can, do you think infrastructure will support it?
See, this is a question of the baker. Every individual baker who wants to get into automation needs to ask that question: what is the available space that they have? So, based on availability, all these automation can be tailor made and fit and squeezed into their space. So it is as I said, I showed you a chart where level of automations. So stage one can be in small bakeries. Stage 2, 3, 4 can be in medium scale bakeries, and stage 5 can be in larger bakeries. And by small, medium, and large, I also say the floor space of these bakeries will also vary drastically. When you say you have something under 5,000 square feet, when you say I have something under a small area to look at, and I don't have much space. How can I fit in automation into that? You can fit in as much as you can. Where it all depends on first of the one of the first processes that we do in giving a solution is understanding the customer's layout, because I cannot give a solution. I cannot say you like a layout which I showed. I cannot give a 500 tons per month line on a 5,000 square feet area. That is practically not possible. So
Yes.
it would it would need serious parameters to understand the customer's floor space or each baker's floor space before adapting it into automation. It needs self realization from the baker also, because people expect a Mercedes Benz at a price of a Tata, but practically that is really not possible. But we can. Yeah, I'm not eliminating completely that it cannot be done. It can be done to a certain extent.
Well, in the end, all I want to say is just
Thank you. Thank
thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
Swati.
much.
Thank you, the
We
organizers.
don't have any further
Yeah.
questions. So, once again, on the behalf of all the team, all the audience, and all the organizers, I would like to say thanks to you for taking out time. And giving us so much knowledge about automation in the bakery
Yeah.
industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swati, and thank you, organizers, and thank you all the audience for patiently listening to my presentation. And also, if you have any queries, you can contact me. You can get in touch with the organizers. You can contact us. And thank you, Swati, for coordinating the whole presentation and taking the question session also.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Have a good day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, moving further, we have the next session, and I request all of you to please quickly move to the next session.